Hello there, good evening. Welcome to News Night here on Metro Television. My name is Bridget Otu. Thank you very much for joining us. It's another week and we start with the headlines. Residential consumers to pay more as the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission increases utility tariffs for water and electricity. Consumers of fuel products to experience a 5.5% increase at the pump starting tomorrow, August 16, 2022. The Office of the Special Prosecutor begins a wider probe into the issuing of customs advance rulings and markdown of benchmark values between July 2017 and December 2021. On the international front, William Ruto defeats Raila Odinga to win Kenya's presidential election. The chair of Kenya's Electoral Commission announced Monday. Hello again, and remember we're streaming on Twitter. It's at Metro TV GH. If you're on Facebook, you're not left out. It's at Metro TV Ghana and at Newsnight. So go there and join our streaming and leave your comments as well. We begin with our very first story tonight, and it has to do with the utility tariffs announced by the PURC, and we'll try and get comments as well from the public. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has announced the new increments in utility tariffs for water and electricity at 21.55% and 27.15% respectively. Now, according to the Executive Secretary of PURC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, this will be fully effective from 1st September 2022.
Utilities Regulatory Commission undertook extensive stakeholder consultations, which afforded the utility service providers the opportunity to explain their proposals to the general public and key interest groups such as the Association of Ghana Industries and the Trade Union Congress. The last major review of tariffs was done in 2018, which resulted in a 17.5% reduction for residential and 30% for non-residential and electricity tariffs. In a meeting with the press, the Executive Secretary of PURC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, says it was prudent to consider some factors in arriving at a more sensitive and fair tariff cost.
The economic factors, exchange rate, inflation, cost of production, among others. The utility-related factors, the operation, maintenance, and other investment, and most significantly, the general conditions of the consumer who will pay. All these were considered in arriving at the decision.
He further added that effective September 1st, consumers will experience a marginal increment of utility tariffs.
That some level of increases in utility tariffs were inevitable if the nation was to avoid another doomsday and its attendant effect, including job losses. The Commission therefore decided, after rigorous and objective analysis and extensive consultations, to increase the end-user electricity tariff by 27.15% and water by 21.55%, effective 1st September 2022.
Businesses were cushioned in terms of pricing as they are set to pay far lower than residential tariffs.
For the first time since the establishment of PURC 25 years ago, industry, including small and medium-scale enterprise business owners such as hairdressers, beauty salons, barbering shops, dressmaking shops, welders, mechanics, coal stores, chop bars, vulcanizers, carpenters, among others, who pay a tariff lower than the residential consumer class.
The Commission further assured consumers that They will continue to monitor the operations of the utility service providers to ensure value for money and quality of service delivery.
Right, and we'll try and get, comments and views of the public on the increment. Nobody wanted to hear this. And also remember, they had asked for well over 100%. So what reasons were assigned for the current adjustment of utility tariffs? And my colleague on the business desk, Winston Taki, is here. So we're doing business with Winston, and Winston will tell us what reasons were assigned to the increment. Winston, tell us, why are we seeing the increment?
All right. Interestingly, the PURC took into consideration certain factors that led to them bringing out the final price increment that will surely be effective on the 1st of September. They considered inflation and some other technicalities, which I'll be leading you shortly. So let's go to the wall, and you will see some of the reasons that they made mention in coming out of, with the 2022-2025 tariff decision. According to the PURC, the existing tariff is structured in a manner that imposes punitive tariffs on non-residential and industrial consumers in order to subsidize residential consumers of electricity. This structure has contributed to loss of competitiveness of Ghanaian industry, including small and medium-sized household enterprises. The implications for jobs and the general welfare of residential consumers is adverse and obvious. The PURC later stated that for the first time, industry and small and medium-scale business owners of hairdressing and beauty parlors, salons, barbering shops, tailoring and dressmaking shops, welding, mechanics, core stores, chop bars, vulcanizing, and carpentry workshops, and among others, will now pay lower tariffs than the residential consumer class. In balancing the interests of service providers and consumers, the PURC acknowledged that the very economic variables that have occasioned the steep increases proposed by the service providers also affect consumers.
So Winston, essentially they are saying that, because I saw vulcanizers, barbers, salons, they will pay lesser. So small businesses are going to pay lesser, but domestic users will pay a higher rate. That's it, correct?
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So they are taking into consideration the fact that this has serious impact on small businesses.
Right.
So they have a threshold where these businesses can now benefit without it affecting their profitability. According to the PURC secretary, the objective is to ensure that they can employ more individuals by saving their profits.
Right. All right, go on.
So let's go on with what was said. They said the last major review of tariff was done in 2018, which resulted in a 17.5% reduction for residential consumers and 30% reduction for non-residential consumers in electricity tariffs. Since then, key macroeconomic variables have deteriorated, particularly since 2020. These have adverse implications on the ability of utilities to keep the light and water. But when we talk about the macro variables, you and I are aware of the increase in inflation, the cost of fuel, and all those components that goes into the production and process of electricity by the utility providers. Now, let's look at the components that goes. Now that the tariff is fully being mentioned, hopefully 1st of September, this is how much you'll be paying on your screen. So let's start with the ECG, that's electricity. The old price, if you used to buy power for 50 Ghana cedis, starting 1st September, you will be paying 63 cedis, 57 pesos, a difference of 13 cedis, 53 pesos. That is how much you'll be paid. So if you used to consume a power of 100 Ghana cedis, henceforth you'll be paying an additional of 27 cedis, 15 pesos. That is 127 cedis and 15 pesos. If you used to buy power for 200 cedis, the next, starting from 1st September, the new price you'll be paying is 257 cedis and 30 pesos. The same applies with 300 cedis, which you'll be seeing paying an additional of 381 Ghana cedis and 45 pesos. For this is the new adjustment prices on your right, which you'll be experiencing come 1st September. Let's go to the water. The main discussion about a water tariff in some communities has to do with whether they really have good access. Some experience water flow through their pipes once a week, some twice a week, and they are lamentable. We'll bring you that reaction shortly, but let's look at the new prices you'll be experiencing. So if you used to pay 50 Ghana cedis for your adjustment, for your fee in an old tariff, the next come September, you're paying 60 cedi, 77 pesos. The 100 cedis, you'll be paying 121 cedis, 55 pesos. If you're buying 200 Ghana cedis of water, that's the old tariff, the new price experience, you'll be paying henceforth will be 243 cedi, 10 pesos. That is how much Ghana Water Company Limited will be charging you. They'll be adjusting the prices within the next 2 weeks, which will you see your meters glory going forward to that. So this is what you'll be having. So Bridget, this is what we have in terms of the pricing.
I know consumers won't be happy about this. Obviously, nobody wants to see increments in prices, but we will gauge and see reaction from the public. It's always good to just find out. We understand the minority has spoken about the tariff increment, and we'll get that to you in a bit. But we'll also look at what else is the public saying in respect of this, and we have the minority statement on the PURC issue, and it says that the minority in Parliament has taken note of the significant utility tariff hikes for electricity and water in an announcement which you saw on Metro Television just a while ago. Firstly, they say we wish to debunk the misleading conclusion that the PURC has increased the tariffs by 27% for all consumers. A critical look. So they are saying the 27 is not for all consumers and it's misleading. A critical look at the tariff structure as announced reveals that all residential consumers who falls between 300 kilowatts brackets have witnessed a price increase from 65,4161 cedis, then 65 cedis, 4161 pesos, to 89 cedis, representing almost 34%. So they are challenging the figures of PURC, saying that it's not 27%, it's 34%. Again, it should be noted that the bulk of residential consumers fall within the 0 to 300 kilowatts bracket and will therefore be adversely affected by the 34% adjustment. So despite the spread that the PURC is saying would benefit small businesses, the minority is challenging that. More importantly, we've taken note that the increment is on account of the worsening Ghana cedi against other major trading currencies. So it really is the performance of the cedi that's pushing this and not what PURC is saying. That's what the minority is saying. The cedi in recent times witnessed a free fall, reaching almost 50% and currently rated amongst the worst performing currencies in the world. That's the minority statement on the utility price hike. Can we have the next slide? All right, so that's just about it. You can also share your thoughts with us on the minority statement. They are challenging, they're saying it's not 27%, it is 34%. But what are Ghanaians saying? Now, meanwhile, some Ghanaians have shared their views on the new tariff increment on water and electricity. While some hold the view that the new tariff will lead to an increment in illegal connections, others say the service providers must improve their services.
Increment over the past years, and the services are looking to be the same. So with regards to this very present one, we believe that the increment comes with valued added service.
There is no increment in our salary. Now, I am more concerned about the manufacturers. Now they are complaining about the economic hardship, the importation of raw material. Government is not giving them any subsidies for them to be able to produce at low cost. Now this electricity and water bill that comes on, how much is the consumer going to pay for what they are producing? That is why at the point of time we may say that Ghanaians' production is very expensive.
That the electricity that we use to do the work will also go up. But one will ask how effective it is for you to increase the tariff. Those of us around Ablekuma, we are just behind the wager, but we don't even have water. For about 2-3 months, there's no water flowing in our taps, but you are increasing it. And someone will ask, what is the increase for?
We are suffering already, and now putting things on the water bill, light bill. What do you want us to do in Ghana?
There's already hardship in the country. So this new increment will lead to an increase in illegal connections.
And this is a countrywide thing. It's not just the capital, because some residents in the central region have shared varied opinions on the announcement that you also watched on Metro Television earlier, in the bulletin. And while some are unbothered by the announcement, others believe this will worsen the already difficult situation Ghanaians are facing. And our correspondent in the region, Akwesi Ado, has been speaking to some residents on this.
Current situation in Ghana now, and then government telling us they have increased utilities. In fact, it's too serious. And for me, I recommend Bubu for every Ghanaian, because with Bubu, government has no power over it.
Though times are hard, I believe strongly that we have to make good use of our water bodies. We've been told galamsey activities are destroying our water bodies. Let's put a stop to it in order to have enough water to use. Meanwhile, I plead with the government to reduce the prices on electricity. I'm surprised at the increment in prices of electricity and water. These are the deeds of this particular government. I believe it is only God who can help us.
Surprise. I keep hearing MPP government, especially the officials, saying that because of COVID and Ukraine and whoever, because of that, Ghana, we are suffering in terms of money issue. You, the president, that you're on top of the money, you are suffering. What of us? Fine, as me like this, I don't have any job. Okay, you've not employed me, and you've increased electricity, water bill. What do you want me to do?
Right, and we're trying to get, a sense of what's happening in various homes, also in the central region. And my colleague Akwesi Ado is on phone, and he will tell us where he is and what consumers are saying in respect of this. Akwesi, good evening, and thank you very much for joining us.
Bridget, thank you for having me.
So what more can you tell us beyond what the man said in the video?
Okay, so essentially what residents in the central region here are saying that even though the PURC has indicated that the increment is going to affect households and they're not smaller businesses,
right?
They are still finding it difficult to trust the words of the PURC because judging from what happened in the year 2018, when the Commission announced similar increments, they still had tariffs for the various households being increased. So presently speaking, I am with Michael here at Ewutu Breku in the Ewutu Senya West District of the Central Region. Michael is a small business holder. He runs a barbering salon. So I would want to speak to him and then find out from him what he takes the words of the PURC to mean. Right, in fact, Wada Roma, Uyitri, Ewa Ewutu Breku ha. Increment, yeah, announce what you say.
Oh, in fact, the make you say a very high price because I'm fun to say, yeah, you too light to fear. Nibble didn't change the obey so you. But I mean, only say different being in idea back on into a very high power. I'm penny function more be my.
Okay. 2018. About say a year announcement, I can't say if you bet you have a baby, but a Juman can say, mobile track to you know.
Right, so that was Akwesi speaking to some residents there. And he actually runs a barbering shop, but they are not part of it because the PURC says it's the residential consumers, domestic users, they are going to pay, not those who run, small businesses. You're live here on Metro Television. It's News Night, live on Facebook and Twitter at Metro TV GH, at News Night, and at Metro TV Ghana. We're taking our very first break. When we come back, we'll look at some more topical stories, including that of the OSP. Stay with us. Welcome back to News Night here on Metro Television. Right, we continue with the rest of our stories. Now, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, has expressed worry over conflicting reports by the foreign food importing company La Bianca and the special prosecutor in relation to a report which suggested alleged irregularity at the port. Meanwhile, the GRA has said it will not shield its members who are found liable.
Revenue Authority has disassociated itself from recent comments by the Commissioner of GRA's Customs Division, Colonel Retired Kojo Damwa, accusing the Special Prosecutor of deliberately targeting him. This is as a result of a report by the Special Prosecutor regarding a foreign food importing company, La Bianca, which suggested alleged irregularities at the port. These are the words of Colonel Damwa.
Before that report came, that person had made a statement to some people who had come to them. He was going to publish something that will discredit me, and he will do that. And I even sent people to go and tell him that he's a small boy. I'm older than him.
In relation to his comments, Ghana Revenue Authority has released an official statement to distance itself from Colonel Damwa's comments, saying the outcome of the investigation were made in his personal capacity and do not convey the opinion of the board and management of GRA. The report further accorded full respect and dignity to the office of the Special Prosecutor. Well, the Ghana Revenue Authority added it will not relent on its mandate to improve revenue collection and block all loopholes as it is still analyzing the report to arrive at a favorable condition that will profit the nation. Meanwhile, the Commission has assured the general public of its commitment to streamline and improve the process of accurately determining values of imported items and products prior to the OSP's report.
The MP for Tamale Central, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, has been responding to the report and has called for further probe to resolve the issue.
The head of Custom Division, the Deputy Commissioner for Custom Division, Mr. Edu Jechi, himself indicated that he took the decision he took because the La Bianca group companies have actually applied for advanced custom ruling. When they interviewed La Bianca Group themselves, in fact, they themselves said that they never applied for advanced custom ruling. So why this position? If they themselves said they never applied for that, why then do you then give them that? And you see, there have been several calls for the woman to resign.
The Revenue Authority concluded that it is committed to bringing any staff of its outfit culpable of corruption to book in accordance with the laws governing the authority.
Right, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor is set to begin a wider probe into the issuing of customs advance rulings and markdown of benchmark values between July 2017 and December 2021. And this was contained in a statement issued by the office earlier, instructing the Commissioner of the Customs Division to submit documents in this regard before September 30.
In the latest from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, it has instructed the Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to submit the particulars of all applications for custom advance ruling, applications for markdown of benchmark values, application for private rulings and class ruling pertaining to the application of custom law and the decision on each of them of the application within the indicated time, and that is September 30, 2022. These documents that is being sought for must be available before the deadline as slated earlier. In summary, what the Office of the Special Prosecutor is investigating this time is a discount of the benchmark value, since government has already discounted that by an act of parliament. Now, the question here is why the 50% depreciated value if the discount has been issued and prescribed by law? This is what the Office of the Special Prosecutor wants to establish, that is whether or not the Customs Division has done anything wrong or not in its operation. Remember, all these are coming up after the investigation into the La Bianca Company Limited and the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Now, let's look at some cases that the Special Prosecutor has sent to court and what has become of it to the case pending before the criminal courts. Let's go to the next slide and let's look at the case between the Republic and Mahama Yariga and another. This case was pending before the High Court Financial Division, Accra, against the Member of Parliament for Boku Central and another. The Special Prosecutor entered a nolle prosequi on October 11, 2021. The Special Prosecutor indicated that he doesn't have available evidence to support his claim, and so should the case continue, the Republic actually would not be able to win the case. Let's go to the next case, which is the Republic versus Ajinim Watson, AJ, and another. On 18th May 2022, the former Chief Executive of Procurement Authority was charged with 8 counts of using public office for profit and 9 counts of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain unfair advantage. Investigations that have been concluded by the Special Prosecutor, and this is AgriPlus Horizon Farms Limited. On December 9, 2019, the Financial Intelligence Center transmitted an intelligence report to the Office of the Special Prosecutor alleging that Ghana Cocoa Board sole sourced a contract to AgriPlus Horizon Farms Limited on the grounds of nepotism. The Ghana Revenue Authority resulting in an unfair and unlawful markdown or reduction of benchmark value of frozen food products imported by La Bianca Company Limited under the guise of customs advance ruling. So this is what is coming up, and this is ready to be prosecuted in court because very soon the establishment of facts on whether or not to prosecute will hit the screen.
And that was my colleague Elvis Ando there. We continue with the rest of our stories. An executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyaba, has commended government on measures put in place to reduce food prices. The association, however, hopes the measures will be backed by policies and investment in order to achieve the target.
Prices of foodstuffs have significantly increased at some market centers across the country. This is attributed mainly to the hike in fuel prices. It is on this background that the President of Ghana, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, assured of a reduction in food prices in the coming days. He said government will provide trucks to market queens for the movement of the food items from the rural areas to market centers in the cities.
We are determined to bring relief to the Ghanaian people. Arrangements are being made with market women, the market queens of popular parlance, to provide trucks to evacuate foodstuffs from rural markets to urban centers to help reduce food prices in the city.
The Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyaba, however, believes the government should back the measures up with policies and investments.
For us, we think it's a good move, but he's only encouraging. That should be backed by a policy or investment. If there's a policy that allows these investors to go in, taking heavy loans and then expand their production, then that's what we'll be looking at. But if we only encourage them without backing by a policy or investment, then we cannot guarantee that they will do what we are encouraging them to do.
He further noted that addressing the issue holistically can increase productivity.
The problem is not just about transportation. The problem has to do with whether the farmers are producing enough. And the answer is clear. Farmers are not producing enough because of the cost of production in recent years. So if you only subsidize fuel for people to bring the food, they'll still go to the communities and buy at a higher cost. Once they buy at a higher cost, even though transport costs might go down slow, but still, when they bring it to the urban areas, the price will still be high. We are expecting the president not to only do a policy that is encouraging or supporting transporters with fuel, but we are looking at things that will address the holistic problems in the sector.
Government spokesperson on governance and security, Palgrave Boachi Dankwa, has also assured the prices of food on the market will see a decline as a result of the measures being put in place by government.
When you go to the market from today, now you would find that prices of food has been reduced drastically because government has intervened. And on that very score, we're going to do an interview on it to have an understanding of how much
cost of carton foods. And we are going on the phone to speak to Shadrach Odame, my colleague. Right, so, okay, so we're actually going to Agobulushi. My colleague Shadrach Odame went there to just understand just how much it costs to cart foods.
Saying, do do saying the go na ne bo be saying.
100.
I sell 100 pieces at 300 cedis. That is 3 cedis as the unit price.
3 cedis. Yeah, this time what my 25, 22, 2 cedi, 2 cedi, 20 pesos. Ebi o my 2 cedi, 50 pesos. It's a car no boyadzi. And the bar.
We price the pineapples to help make up for the high cost of transportation.
Or Jim 6 million, 600.
Oh, yeah, Kia, Kitwa,
no 600. And a Kia Casino so in the watch 800. Baby, I wash your quan on the 10 or what the charge?
2 Santos Nego kind of 1,020.
Obeji. Ojinu, at the moment I could do one of panel. My mama chop money. I must sign pana or Beludunia, my money chop money.
I pay 1,020 Ghana cedis to pack 34 boxes of tomatoes into a truck.
And then you know I can tell you. If I say Mudidi, maybe a money almost 500 cedis. That would be like 1,520 cedis.
I add up the cost of transportation, council bill, and feeding. That is 3,600 cedis. The box of tomatoes also cost 650 Ghana cedis at the farms.
And also, it say no 100 cedis. I the count not just 1,600. 1,600 no, a driver there 2,000. Now yeah 3,600.
So I add the 3,600 cedis to the actual price.
3,600 in a match account to Sinicano.
Alright, say, I have chair, a year 3,600 in so 650 in
Sabe Pepe. And no, send me a lack in a minya, that's a 4 in a mini problem. But my nyata for near Madrubia Minya Biasa Saka, we am not a check here. Such a good naka, seminar 20 was, seminar
15 cry, over
matches I can in a when so.
At times, no, you come off Kofa Barrel, it depending to say barrel your cohon when I say barrel or it to me, but to say a week, it to me basically 2 times or 3 times.
When if I ask you to estimate to say man trucks and adapt trucks, you know, back basis, which means your basis.
Actually, which much your best 30,000, 250,000.
We pay about 30,000 cedis to transport a truck of yam from the northern region to Accra.
20,000, 22,000. You calculate according to the number of distance.
Right, and we're reading a lot of comments, and consumers are saying, I mean, Winnie, I got a message from Winfred, and she says that the news is depressing. Unfortunately, it's not going to get better because consumers of fuel products are expected to experience a 5.5% increment at the pump starting tomorrow, 16th August 2022. And this has been the rise, is attributed to the rise of or the depreciation of the cedi, even though global crude prices have dropped on the global markets.
Prices of petroleum products on the international market has seen some marginal reductions over the past 2-week period between the current first pricing window and the next full pricing window of the month of August, which commences tomorrow, 16th August 2022. Crude oil price has seen a drop by 4.53% from $110.52 averagely to $105.51 per barrel, while that of finished products, petrol and diesel, have declined by an average of 7.5% Petrol, $1,010.15 metric tons, down by 8.11%. The forest market has unfortunately, however, been pretty turbulent over the period, with the cedi depreciation steeply by as much as about 17.342% to close trading at about 9 Ghana cedis 83 pesos per dollar. Internally, considering that there is no new tax rebate, the projected average prices of petrol and diesel will likely be as follows: 10.95 Ghana cedis per litre, moving from 13.30 per litre to 13.96 per litre, all indicating about 5.5% price increase across board over the current mean window prices. Thus, petrol, which is currently selling at 10.95 Ghana cedis per litre, is likely to be sold at 11 Ghana cedis 65 pesos per litre from 16 August 2022, while diesel selling at 13.30 per litre is likely to be sold at 13.97 per litre. COPEC, in its press release to the media, is further admonishing the government to get to work in earnest as a matter of urgency, help stabilize the dollar rate, and to also consider further reductions in some of the existing taxes and levies on petroleum products to help ease the burden on pockets of Ghanaian consumers.
The Ghana Water Company Limited has so far lost over 600 million cedis to illegal connections across the country. As a stopgap measure, it has begun the installation of smart meters across the country. The exercise has been piloted at Dansoman and its environs.
Communications manager for Ghana Water Company Limited, Stanley Mate, said his outfit is deploying converters and a smart mobile phone which transmits data via Bluetooth through a common medium known as Ready software. According to him, meters supporting remote reading are set to make the process much more convenient for both consumers and utilities, as it will replace manual reading of meters. The smart water metering device provides information on a large amount of data needed to stay informed about the distribution network.
We also have set out a policy to change all our mechanical meters into digital smart meters. Now, the digital smart meters have longer duration, or are more stronger, more durable compared to the mechanical meters. They read accurately and all that. So we're investing into the digital meters, and so far we have installed over 80,000 of those meters.
With the issue of illegal connection and non-payment of bills, Communications Director of the Ghana Water Company said the company has lost over 600 million Ghana cedis.
When it comes to legal connections, at our last check in June, I think people or our customers owed us to the tune of 600 million Ghana cedis, and we're expecting that we will be able to recover a greater percentage of this money, which will help us a lot in serving our customers better, because the little money that we get from the work that we do, we invest it back into the system, all in a bid to serve our customers well. Now, if you're able to retrieve that amount, or even a percentage of that amount, we'll be able to buy more smart meters, we'll be able to buy more equipment, more logistics.
Right, and before I read this disclaimer, I just want to put this out. You know, the media organizations, when things happen, say at GRA or the Ghana Institute of Journalism or among journalists, we're likely to use even the president. It doesn't mean that the president is directly involved. And but there are some cases that are peculiar. A case of a nurse who was on video threatening to kill people. You know, if they came, she came out to apologize. But in our representation of it, we use a nurse who was not the direct person, and Metro TV wishes to, apologize to that nurse, Madam Sukuratu Tahidu, for the wrong use of her image as a backdrop for the story of that TikTok video of that nurse who claimed was coerced into studying nursing, and want to apologize to her for the damage done and say that she is not the person who threatened or made those unsavory remarks. And so we want to encourage the general public to desist from harassing Madam Tahidu on various social media platforms. And we'd like to reiterate that Madam Sukuratu Tahido is not the nurse in that said video. Her image was just used as a representation of, nursing profession. Like I mentioned, if it's journalists, use the GJA president and so on. And we deeply regret for this mishap. We're taking another break, and when we come back, we'll look at what's topical in sports. Oh, I love tennis. I hope we're talking tennis. We'll be right back.
It's 45 past 19 hours GMT. It is time for sports. My name is Phil John Quarter. Will bring you updates of the English Premiership tie involving Liverpool at Anfield. They are playing against Crystal Palace, and the home team Liverpool are a goal scored by Winfred Zaha. Will bring you all the details in our subsequent bulletin. But let's go to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, because the match awaited heavyweight boxing tie involving Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk of Ukraine is set for Saturday. Let's hear the breaks.
How am I prepared mentally? So mentally, it's a competitive fight, and I've got to bring competition. So in that sense, mentally, it's not just about, all right, I want to box well and all this, just win. Mentally, like win, refuse to be beat, and that's how you mentally approach the fight, just go in there with a winner's mindset. Pros and cons. So the cons are the time, drags on. Like normally you get straight back in there, don't you? Inactivity ain't good for anyone, but the pros are, for all the changes that I've made personally, like training camp, training location, like having to form a new team, like make them work together as well, which is important in a training environment. That needed time. So straight after the fight, obviously I focused on recovery, but I got straight to business. And what you'll see on Saturday is kind of what we've been working on for the last, I'll say, 10 months.
And what burns the fire inside you right now?
I just can't go back to the ends, as they say, like back to London without the belts, if I'm honest. I just don't want to go back to London without the belts. I know I'll say like the belts don't mean anything, but deep down they mean something. But I just want to win, basically. I just don't want to go back without winning. And I know I can win. The mind's strong, as you asked me, like how am I mentally prepared? The mind's strong, so I believe. And all things should come to pass. And I'm claiming victory now. So hopefully it comes to existence August 20/21st.
Anthony Joshua, former heavyweight champion, preparing for the Ukrainian Alexander Usyk on Saturday. The match is taking place in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Well, let's go to Qatar now, because the World Cup, we're being told, will start on the 20th of November, according to the leadership of the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, and the local organizing committee of the Mondial. Coaches and referees are being told are undergoing some training programs.
It is not just the players and coaches who are working hard ahead of the FIFA World Cup in November. The 36 referees, 69 assistant referees, and 24 video match officials from all over the globe have also been preparing to ensure they arrive at the tournament in the best possible condition. FIFA held 3 seminars between May and June, allowing the match officials to take part in theoretical classes and training sessions, including various live match situations.
It's like a football team. They have to prepare everything perfectly to arrive also very well prepared in the most important competition we have in sports. So here we analyze situation, we discuss about concept, topics, and whatever really to be on the same page. Like a player who want to win the game, who want to score a goal, have to understand exactly what you have to do. And for us, preparation is crucial.
We learn a lot because every game it's a training for us. It's also more experience, more management with the players. So every game, every year, we improve a lot. So I think we will be ready for the World Cup.
Our objective is to prepare the referee as best as possible, to avoid to use the technology. But the technology is there to avoid that a mistake is committed. Even the best referee can commit a mistake. He's a human being, we know it, and that's why we implemented a system using tools that can really reduce the possibility that a human mistake can affect the outcome of a match.
Well, that's your sports on Newsnight. My name is Phil John Quarter. We're going for that commercial where we come back, entertainment. Then later, we'll go to the street of Nairobi and Mombasa in Kenya and find out how supporters of the newly elected president of Kenya are doing.
Well, it's time for entertainment news. My name is Isiodua Akumia. One of the founders of Afrochella, Edward Asafo Ajayi, has been asked to step down from his leadership role and responsibilities, effective immediately. This comes after alleged misconduct. On a Twitter space on August 10, some of his alleged victims claimed Edward, popularly known as DZ, sends them inappropriate and unsolicited nude pictures, adding that he blocks them when they do not respond positively to his advances. Now, following the spaces, many users called for the dismissal of DZ from Afrochella and all its future events. In a press statement shared on August 15, Culture Management Group, the parent company of Afrochella, noted that they take zero tolerance for any form of harassment, discrimination, or violence. Now, platinum certified artist Kiddy has completed his 3-day tour of Australia on a high note. Now, the Touch It crooner performed for thousands of fans in a different city every day. The tour train made its first stop in Sydney on 12 August 2022 at the Roundhouse inside the University of Sydney. The Lynx Entertainment act received a thrilling reception from fans and in return gave them an electrifying performance that left lasting memories. The same energy continued on 14th August in Perth for the final lap of the tour. Metro City fans in Perth concluded that the successful tour with thrilling reactions to all the songs Kiddy performed. After an impressive response, the singer and his team are looking at another tour in Australia next year. Now the recording... Okay, well, that's it for entertainment news. My name is Isiodua Akumia. Bridget?
Thank you very much, Isiodua. International news is next, and we are in Kenya. William Ruto has defeated Raila Odinga by a margin of 50.5% to 48.9%. Close to what he got, when he contested Uhuru Kenyatta to win Kenya's presidential election. The chair of Kenya's Electoral Commission announced Monday the announcement was contentious. A scuffle broke out ahead of the ceremony, and 4 members of the Electoral Commission also declined to attend because they said the vote counting process was opaque and could not associate themselves with the results. Going into the elections, Ruto was serving his second term as deputy to outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta, but after a public split with Ruto, Kenyatta endorsed his as-well rival Odinga. That sets the stage for a combative campaign with Ruto prevailing in a minor upset. Kenya's next president will have to navigate soaring food prices, ballooning debts, and regional instability. He also said that those who turn against them, they will not come after them. And it's an important statement he made there. Right, and that's it for Newsnight. My name is Bridget Otu. Thank you so much for joining us. See you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night.